In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my new challenge, the 20 to 2K Fast Flip Challenge. Here it is in a nutshell. You take $20, you buy inventory to sell on eBay, Poshmark, or Mercari. You sell your items for at least twice what you paid for them after all fees and everything is said and done. And then you take 100% of that money that you've made. So you've turned your $20 into $40. You take the 40, you go out and buy more inventory. You do it again. You do this 7 times and you will have effectively taken your $20 and turned it into $2,000. This is by far, bar none, the absolute easiest way to turn $20 into $2,000. I have a document on my computer here. We're going to jump into it. I'm going to give you an overview of all of the ins and outs of this, and then we're going to look at my items that I bought for $20. I bought a few pairs of adult shoes, and I bought 1 pair of youth shoes. I'll go over all the prices and I will show you the screenshots and everything for the sold comps. So let's get into this. Let's jump into my computer and check out the details of this challenge. All right, the 20K to 2K Fast Flip Challenge. The idea of this is to go as fast as possible. So we're not going for super high returns necessarily. We're more so going for fast flips. Start with 20 bucks. Buy a thing or buy a few things. This can be 1 pair of shoes for 20 bucks that you know you can absolutely, after all fees, shipping and everything, turn into 40. Or you can buy, like myself, 4 different items for $20 or less that you absolutely know that you can flip for $40 or more. Sell it or them, double your money. Must be double after all fees, shipping, fuel, etc. So for myself, I sell a lot of stuff on eBay. I'm a full-time eBay seller, and so eBay will more than likely be the avenue that I go about this. However, I will be cross-listing these 4 items onto Poshmark and Mercari as well. I am accounting for the, at most, 20% seller fees. So on eBay, it's about 14% after PayPal and eBay fees. And then Poshmark is 20% seller fees, and then Mercari is 10%. I am accounting for a 20% seller fee, and then shipping is going to be extra. Normally, with my normal sales, I offer free shipping. With these, shipping is going to be extra. I'm going to be selling at a lower sell price than what the items are truly worth. Normally, I price higher on the pricing spectrum. On these, I'm going to be pricing a little bit lower. And the reason for that is I want fast flips. So shipping is going to be an addition. One of the pairs of shoes that I bought, I paid, they're youth shoes, so I paid $350, and they are selling for $100 to $115 on eBay used. I will be pricing those closer to the $60 price point because I want a fast flip, and I will be charging extra for shipping on those. So no free shipping in this. I also will not be making offers to likers. These things are going to be priced really competitively. So on Poshmark and Mercari, no offers. On eBay, no offers. I am simply going to sell them for what I post them for. Take 100% of your proceeds and repeat. We are not paying ourselves up front with this challenge. We are putting everything back into the business. The reason I'm doing this is I had a lesson to learn when I first started. You've got to invest in your business if you want it to grow. It's just like a pet, right? A dog or a cat. You have to invest. You have to keep feeding it. It's just like a child. You got to keep feeding it if you want it to grow. And so for this challenge, for the first 7 steps of this challenge, we are absolutely putting all of the money back into this. Keep repeating it until you hit $2,000. That is 7 rotations of this challenge. It will take you 7 rotations. After the 7th, you will have $2,560. Now, what you do with your $2,560 is up to you. You can pay yourself. You can continue with the challenge and keep going. You can blow that money on a TV. I do not recommend that. You just turned 20 bucks into $2,000+ absolutely pay yourself. Maybe you take $1,000 and you put it as an emergency fund. You take another 1,000 and you go buy more inventory, and you take $560 and you take a vacation. You absolutely earned it 100%, but keep going. Don't let your business fall flat here. A couple strategies that you can look at: source higher priced used items and sell them on the lower end of the pricing spectrum. That's what I'm doing. The shoes that I'm buying are anywhere from $3.50 to $5.50. I make sure that they are, $40 or $60 or $80 shoes being sold used or more, and I am pricing them on the lower end of the spectrum. So if I buy a $5 pair of shoes that can sell for $50, I'm going to sell them for $35. That way I get my buyers to buy quickly. Of course, you're going to go about all the usual stuff, right? Clean your shoes immaculately. Make sure your pictures are awesome. Make sure your listings are optimized and that you have great descriptions and that you are very thorough. But for me, I'm sourcing higher priced items that are used. I'm reselling them on a little bit lower end of the pricing spectrum. Do not lowball, right? Don't buy a pair of shoes that you can resell for $100 and then sell them for $20. Because first off, that looks super suspicious to the buyer. Also, it undercuts the fair market value for that item. So be very careful how you price things. Don't be afraid to price on the lower end of the spectrum to hopefully get a fast flip on your item. You don't have to sell shoes. You don't have to sell, you can sell whatever you want. If vintage t-shirts are your thing, absolutely do that. If shoes are your thing, do that. If electronics, VHS players, whatever your thing is, absolutely do it. If you don't have an eBay account, no problem. Don't worry about that. You can sell on Facebook Marketplace. In fact, selling on Facebook Marketplace is great because there's no fees. The one thing with that is you will have to meet your buyer. I recommend that you don't meet at your home or their home. Meet in a public place, maybe a Walmart, maybe a Target parking lot, maybe the local police station, somewhere where you can do a deal in the open, where it's safe, well lit. I've done several Facebook Marketplace flips. Bought a purse one time for $4, sold it for $35, Facebook Marketplace. I drove down to the Walmart that was about 4 miles away. The lady handed me cash. I handed her the purse. Bright, open daylight. She felt super safe with that. I felt super safe, and it turned out great for both of us. So absolutely find public, well-lit spaces to meet. As far as strategies go, you can also sell them at the appropriate market value, but be willing to wait for a little while for them to sell. That's not a bad idea either. You could take, let's say it takes 1 full week for each rotation of this. So that's 7 weeks that it would take you to go from $20 to $2,000. But it might take a little bit longer if you sell at the normal, appropriate market value for your item. There's so many variables with this. The demand for the item, the price for the item, the condition of the item, what you're selling. It all depends. The reason I like selling shoes, I learned from one of my mentors that everyone has to have a pair of shoes, right? This works for $5, $10, and even $20 items. Don't be afraid to buy a $20 item that has high demand. That would be maybe like a VHS DVD combo. Those, you can often buy them for $10 or even $20, but they will sell for $60, $80, or even $100. You can absolutely flip those very quickly. And those sell great on Facebook Marketplace, as well as eBay and Mercari. Really great for those platforms. If you decide to continue on, be prepared to start flipping bigger items like high-end bicycles, maybe used cars, and maybe a house or two, because you never know if you continue on past this point. I'll show you in a second here. If you get to the point where you have $15,000 to go spend on inventory, it's going to be very hard to buy $15,000 of shoes in a month to flip. That's going to take some time. You have to start working out, maybe hiring an employee to flip that money. I have a spreadsheet here where I've simply taken the dollar amount that you start with and what it would flip to being doubled. This is after the fees, after fuel, after shipping, after all associated costs. This goes from reasonable to ridiculous. And I love looking from reasonable to ridiculous because I like to live on the edge of ridiculous. So rotation 1 is just taking 20 to 40, easy. Rotation 2, 40 to 80, easy. 3, 80 to 160. You can see by rotation 7, you take $1,280, which you will be sourcing probably a couple weeks, maybe a week and a half, to really maximize that. You've got to account for fuel, going out to thrift stores, going out to bookstores, whatever it might be that you're doing. And then all of the listing time, which might also take a week or two. So once that's said and done, you have 2560. Now you've got a healthy chunk of money to be working with. Then you can see from there, it starts to get kind of ridiculous. Rotation 8 is 2560. This is if you decided to continue on and just take all the proceeds and keep rotating. 2560 into 5120. That is quite a leap there and borderline ridiculous. So for this, I would say like a used Honda Civic that you buy for $2,500, you're not going to get $5,000 for it. It's very seldom that you start getting into like that middle range used cars and then doubling your money. I would say take $2,560 and flip that into maybe a $3,000 car, make $500, and then there would be like micro flips in there. I don't know. That doesn't. Maybe you take a portion of it. Maybe you take half of that and buy a used car, and the other half and buy the shoes, right? And so you start moving things around. Maybe at this level, at rotation 9, you take a couple used cars and a bunch of pairs of shoes, and you somehow turn that into 10,000. And it keeps going. By step 15, this is where you're looking at houses. You buy a foreclosed house, or you wholesale a house to a developer or a house restoration person, and you start doubling your money that way. Or maybe you go cash investing with a wholesale real estate investor. But I'm just trying to give you ideas of ways to flip your money semi-passively. So you would have built money up by this point, and semi-passively, not really worrying about, or hey, dump it all in the stock market and get your 8% annual average return on some mutual funds. There's a lot of things to do, a lot of ways to go with this. Just trying to spark your interest. But first off, I just encourage you, jump into the challenge. Let's do it. Let's stay accountable. I am going to be doing a lot of posting on my Instagram through this challenge to help motivate and inspire people to get out there. I've been very inactive on my Instagram because I've been focusing on challenges and focusing on the eBay and really growing the business instead of just talking about it. Let's get out there and do this. One of the strategies that I'm doing with this to keep this inventory separate from my normal inventory, which I do take a paycheck from, is I am listing on my normal eBay account, but I'm putting a special SKU, a seller SKU in, which is going to be 3 asterisks. So when that item sells, I will know that this is part of my 20 to 2K fast flip challenge, and I will then take that item and I will reinvest all of the money after fees and everything. For selling on eBay, I'm having all of this money dumped into a different PayPal account than my normal sales. That way the money stays separate. We'll be doing updates on this as we go. I'm hoping that I can flip these 4 pairs of shoes within 1 week so that next week we can make this a weekly thing, go from $20 to $2,000 in 7 weeks. That may seem like a long time. Let me show you the 4 items that I got for the Fast Flip Challenge, and I'll tell you the prices associated, as well as a screenshot that I will post up right here of the sold comps. The first pair are these Nike Air Monarchs, all black. I paid $550 for these. They're size 14, kind of huge. They are immaculate condition, excellent. I'll probably just dust these down, photograph them, and list them. They have a lot of life left in them, and Monarchs sell incredibly fast. You can see the comps right here for these. Yeah, super pumped with these. I recently bought a pair of these exact shoes from the Goodwill outlet and sold them within 3 days at the market value. I will probably price these at the market value just because if I go much lower, I'll be straining a little bit. Next are these Nike Blaze Mids right here. These are, I believe they used to be black and they got faded. However, they're incredibly clean, great condition on the bottom. The fade might actually be like a denim kind of look, and so that's what I'm going to market it as. You can see the comps here are really good. This is for similar colorways, not the exact faded look, but very pumped about these. These are a size 5, which would technically be a youth size, but they're not listed as a youth. So I did pay up on these, I guess, at $550 for these shoes. These are a size 8 Jordan 1s, like a mid, very clean. They definitely do need to be cleaned and wiped down. A lot of good tread on the sole. Yeah, really, really nice pair. of Jordan 1s. Happy with these. I paid $5.50 for these, and you can see the comps right here, pretty good. And then the absolute find of the day were these Jordan 11s right here. They need a little bit of restoration, and Jordan 11s, if you know anything about them, you're going to have to do a little bit of work to get that money. They are good condition. They definitely need to be cleaned up, especially around the midsole where it's white. And then right here on the toe, you can see that this is flipping up a little bit. It's got to be glued. I actually have some shoe goo for that. See that? And all it takes is just a little popsicle stick with some shoe goo. You stick it in there. You hold that down for a few moments, and it seals it, and it's excellent. I've done probably 3 or 4 pairs of Jordan 11s on the toe. It's just something that it comes with, and you can see the comps right here, over $100. This is the pair that I will be selling, probably in the $60 to $70 range. There was one that sold in the $60 range recently. Actually, since I bought these, they sold a couple days, the day that I bought these. And yeah, I'm very happy with these. These are a youth pair, so I paid, let me see. These are a 7.5Y, so I paid $3.50. That's not a usual thing, but I'm happy that it happened. So we got $5.50, $5.50, $5.50, plus $3.50, which was an exact $20. Very pumped about that. We hit the nail on the head. I didn't want to come in at $18 or $19. So that might be a strategy in the future that we work toward, is getting 3 adult and 1 pair of youth shoes in order to really hit that mark. Guys, thank you for joining in on this. I hope you got some value. I hope you enjoyed this video. If it did give you some value, and if you are going to jump in on the challenge, whether you're selling Amazon, eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, or Facebook Marketplace, wherever you're selling, if you're going to jump in on this challenge, give that thumbs up. Connect with me on Instagram, because I want to hear your stories, and I want to build this little community where we can encourage each other as we go, ask questions and that sort of thing. So yeah, leave a like if you're going to jump in on the challenge. If you're not already subscribed, consider doing that. And as always, guys, keep selling, get the bag. Let's get this 2K, and I'll see you on the next video.